Hello everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the newest segment on my channel called Trailer Tuesday, the segment where I break down the latest movie trailers so I've hit the web and I give my initial thoughts and reactions to them. And up to this point, this was going to be a boring episode at first until there was one very big trailer that got released last night, and it's going to be the headline of this episode without a doubt. And to any of you who are new watching this segment for the first time, I don't have a definitive rating system yet, so I'm just sticking between the 0 to 5 scale for the time being until I come up with something clever and inventive. So just cut to the chase right now. First up, as expected, is the trailer that got released last night, the one that's been blowing up the web like crazy and has fanboys changing their pants left and right, and that is the Dark Knight Rises final trailer. Originally, this was supposed to premiere before the Avengers along with the new Amazing Spider-Man trailer, but thanks to the viral marketing campaign that Warner Brothers put on for this, it was released early as of last night, and just... oh my god. I'm sure that any doubts that anybody, including me, had about all the buzz that had been building up from the production up until this point of when they're in the final stages of editing visual effects, any of those problems that I would have had before, which are very faint by the way, they are gone after this trailer. I'm dead serious. This is one of the best trailers that I have seen in quite a long time. The way the trailer builds up all of the broken faith and hope lost in Gotham City, especially with the very eerie and dark opening, as it is a progressive build-up until the classic Hans Zimmer score really kicks in. The way it was so eerie and just with that one piano note throughout, it made it go, oh man, is this going to be dark because all hope is lost in Gotham without the Batman, and Bane is just, he just looks like a tank compared to anybody. There's no way that Batman could beat him. As far as visual spectacle goes, Christopher Nolan looks like he has created, without a doubt, the best conclusion imaginable to this film series. And I almost want to compare this to Breaking Bad for the way it's been building up each of its entries. Because if you compare Batman Begins to the first season of Breaking Bad, it did a great job at setting up not only the setting, but also the characters that you'll be introduced to later in this series. And then The Dark Knight ramped it up in terms of being darker and more intense, just like Breaking Bad Season 2 and 3. Dark Knight Rises is going to be like Breaking Bad Season 4, which just progressively builds up all this intensity and just completely unleashes it on you, where you're just overwhelmed by how engrossed you are within everything that happens. This looks like it's going to be without a doubt the best summer movie of the year, and probably the best comic book movie of the year too. As much as I love the Avengers, this is definitely going to give a run for its money as well, and I'm going to give this 5 stars. I freaking love this trailer so much. I could go on and on and on about how great this trailer is, but I'm just going to leave it be right now. Next up is the newest 3-minute trailer to Ridley Scott's Prometheus, and this movie, like The Dark Knight Rises, has done an amazing job at its viral marketing campaign, and this alone shows a lot more footage than the previous trailers have, but even better, it does include some of that old footage that you've seen before, but includes newer shots within the sequence, and I really liked how they used a lot of the fast cuts within the editing for this trailer. I praise the editor for this trailer because anything that could have been shown too much of, they cut at just the right time in order to prevent from showing too much. And from all the visual spectacle that this movie is going to be, because Ridley Scott is a master of the sci-fi genre back in the late 70s, early 80s when he made Alien and Blade Runner, this is going to be a phenomenal return to form just from the trailers alone. And I am a big fan of Ridley Scott. I've always stuck beside him despite a few minor road bumps here and there, Robin Hood. But otherwise, besides that, this movie looks like it's built up to be one of the best science fiction movies in years. Phenomenal cast, and I really like how they showed more of Charlize Theron's character, in which she looks like she's kind of playing the stern bitch again, just like it looks like she's going to pull off in The Snowy and the Huntsman. I really got entertained from this trailer, and I'm really hoping that this movie lives up to the insane hype that it's building up as well. And I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy this trailer a lot. Next up is the first trailer to Judd Apatow's This Is 40. Now, I'm really anticipating this film because I am a huge Judd Apatow fan. A lot of us have grown up with his movies since when The 40-Year-Old Virgin released, and then we had other great ones like Knocked Up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Superbad, and so many more. He has some road bumps in his producing career, specifically Drillbit Taylor in Year One, but otherwise he has made a lot of great comedies that many of us quote for days end. However, for this, I'm just not so sure because from the teaser trailer alone, and I know this is just a teaser, but something just did not completely click with me. Like, sure, I laughed at certain moments in there, especially Melissa McCarthy's bit towards the end. However, the use of funds "We Are Young," it just really put the trailer in an off direction, and I just didn't really click with it completely. However, Apatow is a great filmmaker when it comes to conveying real-life situations that many middle-aged people go through today. However, the way it was just constructed in this trailer, along with the use of that song, it just didn't really mesh all that well, and it feels like a lot of the jokes sometimes in the trailer feel like they were been there, done that things in which they're just trying too hard to carry them on. However, I will admit, I'm still really looking forward to this trailer because if you look back at past trailers for Judd Apatow movies, they actually all did a pretty good job at not showing the best jokes, so I'm hoping for the best that this is doing the same. But I just didn't really click completely with this trailer, so I'm going to give it 3 stars out of 5. Next up is the trailer to John Hillcoat's Lawless, which is based off of the novel The Wettest County in the World. I almost said country. I'm sure a lot of people have messed that up before too. It stars Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy, I think is these 2 brothers, I'm assuming, that are in the bootlegging business in the 1920s, and they're these shady people that are trying to get involved that include Gary Oldman and Guy Pearce. And just from the setting alone, I think Hillcoat has nailed it down perfectly. He directed The Road, which was an adaptation of the classic Cormac McCarthy novel, which is one of my all-time favorite books, by the way, and I think that was a phenomenal adaptation of that book because it conveyed almost everything that the book did. Carrying on from that, I think Hillcoat is a great director when it comes to netting down the setting for a movie, specifically if it's based off of adapted material, and I really like the actors involved with this. Shia LaBeouf is the only road bump, but I think that given the right director, he can actually be a decent actor. We all saw that in Disturbia when he worked with DJ Caruso, but ever since he went under Michael Bay's spell, he's really gone down because he's been given very stupid material to work with. I just think that most actors that are in Hollywood, like Shia LaBeouf today, and even Channing Tatum as well, they're ones that can be good if they have the right director, and Tatum has proved that so far, and I'm hoping that Shia LaBeouf does the same for this year. And I really dug this setting most of all for the trailer, and it looks like it's going to be an acting tour de force from the people they have involved in it, and it looks like it's going to be great in terms of technicality too, especially from the costume design and the art direction especially. So I'm really looking forward to this movie. I didn't think the trailer was phenomenal or anything, but it really got me intrigued. So I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, those are all the trailers for this edition of Trailer Tuesday. Make sure to leave your thoughts on these trailers below in the comment section below so we can share our thoughts and so forth. I will have the first edition of my summer movie season preview for May up sometime later this week because I already saw The Avengers, given that I can release this at a later day. I'm not sure of any more videos I'll be releasing this week besides that, but you can look forward to that in particular. So in the meantime, I'm Tyler from Cali Creek Reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.